Welcome back, gentlemen. If you're over 40 and tired of getting fragrance advice from 20-year-olds who think drowning in Axe body spray is sophisticated, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're talking about the cologne mistakes that are quietly killing your credibility and how to fix them immediately. I was at a charity gala last week when a well-dressed gentleman in his 50s sat down at our table. Sharp suit, perfect watch, confident demeanor, until the waiter visibly recoiled while pouring his wine. The cologne cloud was so overpowering. Two women actually switched seats during dinner. Here's a man who clearly invests in his appearance, completely unaware he's sabotaging himself every time he enters a room. The worst part? Nobody will ever tell him. But I'm going to tell you exactly what he's doing wrong. Quick favor. Hit that subscribe button if you want no-nonsense fragrance and style advice that actually respect your intelligence. I'm not here to sell you anything, just to keep you from looking clueless. And drop a comment. Have you ever caught someone reacting to your cologne? Let's hear those honest stories. Here's the truth. Most men over 40 are wearing cologne like they learned in high school and never updated the playbook. You're either drowning in the same fragrance you wore in your 20s, applied all the wrong pulse points, or worse, buying expensive bottles that smell incredible in the store, but completely wrong on mature skin. Today, I'm walking you through the 6 biggest cologne mistakes that age you, alienate people, and waste your money. And mistake number 4? It's the one I see successful men make constantly, and it's costing them respect without them ever knowing why. Mistake number 1. You're spraying cologne on your clothes instead of your skin, and it's killing the fragrance before it even has a chance to work. Here's why this happens. Somewhere along the line, you probably learned to spray your shirt or jacket because it seemed cleaner, more convenient, or maybe you thought it would last longer. Wrong on all counts. Fragrance is designed to interact with your skin's natural oils and body heat. When you spray it on fabric, you're essentially wasting 70% of what you paid for. The scent sits on the surface, doesn't develop properly, and fades within an hour. Plus, you're potentially staining expensive shirts with oil-based fragrance compounds. The consequences? You end up overspraying to compensate for weak projection, which creates that suffocating cloud effect nobody wants to be around. You smell like you're trying too hard, and the fragrance never evolves into those sophisticated middle and base notes that make quality cologne worth owning. Here's what to do instead. Apply cologne directly to clean, moisturized skin at your pulse points, wrists, neck, and behind the ears. Your body heat activates the fragrance naturally, allowing it to develop in layers throughout the day. 2 sprays maximum. That's it. If you're worried about skin sensitivity, test a small area first. But for most men, proper skin application is exactly how cologne is meant to work. Now that you're applying cologne to your skin, let's talk about mistake number 2. You're rubbing your wrist together after applying it, and you're literally destroying the fragrance molecules. This one's ingrained in almost every man over 40, because we've seen it in every cologne commercial ever made. Spray, rub the wrist together, pat the neck. It looks sophisticated, right? Except it's completely wrong. When you rub your wrist together, the friction generates heat that breaks down the top notes before they have a chance to settle. You're essentially bruising the fragrance, crushing those delicate molecular structures that perfumers spent years developing. What you smell in the first 5 minutes is distorted, and what should have lasted 6 hours now barely makes it to lunch. The real-world impact? You walk into a morning meeting smelling sharp, but by your afternoon presentation, you're completely neutral, or worse. You reapplied, and now you're overpowering the room. I watch men do the cycle 3 times in one day, wondering why their expensive cologne disappears so quickly. Here's the fix. After you spray, let it dry naturally. Don't touch it. Don't rub. Don't pat. The fragrance needs about 30 seconds to bond with your skin's oils. If you absolutely must do something, lightly dab, never rub, to spread it slightly. That's it. Give the fragrance room to breathe and develop the way it was designed to. Mistake number 3. You're still wearing the same fragrance you wore in your 30s, and it's aging you in ways you don't realize. Here's what's happening. That fresh, sporty cologne that worked perfectly when you were 32, it now smells out of place on your 45-year-old self. Not because the fragrance changed. You did. Your skin chemistry shifts as you age. Your natural oils decrease. Your pH balance changes, and fragrances that once projected confidence now read as either desperate or disconnected. Walk into a business dinner wearing the same citrus-heavy sport fragrance from a decade ago, and you're unconsciously signaling that you're stuck in the past. This matters more than you think. Scent creates instant impressions. When your fragrance doesn't match your station in life, your accomplishments, your experience, your actual presence in a room, people notice, even if they can't articulate why something feels off. You're the senior partner wearing the intern's cologne. The correction: transition to deeper, more sophisticated fragrance profiles. Look for woody, leather, or amber-based colognes with complexity and staying power. These aren't about smelling old. They're about smelling established, grounded, successful. Think of it like upgrading from a sports car to a luxury sedan. Both are impressive, but one matches where you actually are in life. Your fragrance should reflect the man you become, not the kid you were. Mistake number 4, and this is the big one I promised. You're applying cologne right after you shower, and you're setting yourself up for complete fragrance failure. Here's what most men do: shower, towel off, spray cologne, get dressed. Seems logical, right? Except you're applying fragrance to damp skin that hasn't stabilized yet. Your pores are wide open from the hot water, which means the cologne absorbs too quickly and burns off within 2 hours instead of lasting all day. You're literally watching your money evaporate because of poor timing. Plus, if you're applying cologne to skin that still has soap residue or body wash film on it, you're creating a chemical conflict that distorts how the fragrance smells. That's why you smell great leaving the house, but unremarkable by the time you arrive at the office. Here's the fix, and it's simple. Wait 15 minutes after your shower. Let your skin return to its natural temperature and pH balance. During that window, moisturize with an unscented lotion. This is critical for men over 40 because drier skin doesn't hold fragrance well. The moisturizer creates a base layer that helps cologne adhere and project properly. Then apply your fragrance to those pulse points we talked about earlier. This one timing change will double your fragrance longevity without buying anything new. Mistake number 5. You're storing your cologne in the bathroom, and you're cooking your fragrance to death every single day. Think about what happens in your bathroom. Hot showers create steam and humidity. Temperature swings from cold mornings to hot showers and back again. Bright lights, sometimes direct sunlight through a window. That $150 bottle sitting on your counter is getting destroyed by the worst possible storage conditions. Heat and light break down fragrance compounds faster than anything else. That cologne that smelled incredible when you bought it 6 months ago, it's now oxidized, the top notes are flat, and the whole composition smells slightly sour or metallic. You think you're going nose blind to your signature scent, but really, you've been wearing spoiled cologne for months. Here's the before and after. Before, you keep your cologne on the bathroom counter. You go through bottles quickly because the scent seems to weaken, and you keep buying new fragrances thinking your taste is changing. After, you move your cologne to a cool, dark drawer in your bedroom, away from heat, light, and humidity. Suddenly, that same bottle lasts 8 months instead of 4. Smells consistent every time you use it, and maintains its full complexity from first spray to last. The fragrance you thought was disappointing? It was never the problem. Your storage was sabotaging it the entire time. Mistake number 6, and this one's going to surprise you. You're wearing cologne to smell good for other people, and that's exactly why it's backfiring. Stay with me here. When you choose and apply cologne thinking what will impress people or what will they notice, you overcorrect. You spray more than necessary. You pick fragrances that project aggressively because you want to make sure people smell you. You're performing instead of wearing fragrance naturally. And here's the counterintuitive truth. The best cologne on a man over 40 is the one people only notice when they're close to you. Subtlety is power at this stage of life. Think about the most impressive men you know. You don't smell them from across the room. You catch their scent during a handshake, when they lean in during conversation, in the elevator standing next to them. It's a whisper, not a shout. That's intentional presence, not accidental overload. Here's how you fix this. Choose your cologne for yourself first. Wear what makes you feel confident when you catch a hint of it on your wrist during the day. Apply with restraint. 1 spray on the neck, 1 on the wrist. Let people discover your scent by getting close to you, not by entering the same building. Fragrance should be an intimate detail, not a public announcement. When you shift from performing to existing confidently, everything about how you wear cologne changes. Now, let me give you the complete system that synthesizes everything we just covered. I call this the 4 pillars of mature fragrance, and if you follow these, you'll never make another cologne mistake. Pillar 1, the right scent. Choose woody, amber, or leather-based fragrances that match your age and accomplishment level. Leave the citrus sport colognes to the younger guys. Pillar 2, the right timing. Wait 15 minutes after showering. Apply to moisturize skin and never touch or rub once you sprayed. Pillar 3, the right application. 2 sprays maximum, 1 on the neck, 1 on the wrist. Direct to skin, never to clothes. Let your body heat do the work. Pillar 4, the right intention. Wear cologne for yourself and those close to you, not for the room. Subtlety signals confidence. Store it properly in a cool, dark place away from your bathroom. These 4 pillars turn fragrance from a gamble into a strategic advantage. Master them, and you'll never wonder if you're wearing too much, too little, or the wrong thing entirely. Let me get specific about what actually works for men in our demographic. When you're shopping for your next bottle, look for these 5 fragrance profiles. First, woody orientals. Fragrances built around sandalwood, cedar, or vetiver with warm spice notes. These smell grounded and substantial, not like you're trying to recapture your 20s. Second, leather tobacco combinations. Rich, sophisticated, slightly smoky. These fragrances command respect in boardrooms and dinner settings without overpowering. Third, amber-based colognes with vanilla or benzoin undertones. Warm, inviting, mature. They project approachability with authority. Fourth, aromatic falgars, lavender, oak moss, coumarin. Classic barbershop sophistication, updated for modern contexts. Timeless without smelling dated. Fifth, oud-based Western compositions. Not the intense Middle Eastern versions, but the refined interpretations that add depth and luxury without overwhelming. Why these work better than younger men's fragrances? Simple. Fresh citrus and aquatic scents are designed for energy and athletics. You're past that. You need fragrances that communicate experience, stability, and success. These profiles develop beautifully on mature skin chemistry and last longer throughout your day. Here's insider knowledge that separates amateurs from experts. First, rotate fragrances seasonally. Heavy amber and leather for winter, lighter woody scents for summer. Wearing the wrong weight kills your presence. Second, never buy cologne in the morning. Test it late afternoon when your body chemistry matches how you'll actually wear it. After meals, after coffee. Third, spray your lower back before formal events. Your suit jacket traps and releases the scent gradually as you move, creating sophisticated ambient presence. Fourth, if cologne doesn't smell right within 30 seconds on your skin, walk away. Your chemistry either works with it immediately or never will. Let me handle the questions you're probably asking right now. Isn't cologne unprofessional? Only when it's excessive. Subtle fragrance is a power move. People should notice during handshakes, not from across the room. What about scent-free workplaces? One spray under your collar keeps you compliant while maintaining standards. If truly banned, reserve cologne for evenings and weekends. How do I know if it's too much? If you smell yourself constantly, you've overdone it. Proper application means catching occasional hints, not living a cloud. Ask one trusted person for feedback, then stick to the 2 spray maximum. Here's what this is really about. Fragrance isn't vanity. It's the final detail that completes the presence you've spent decades building. You've earned respect through competence, experience, and results. Cologne is simply the invisible signature that reinforces what people already know about you. You're a man who handles details, who understands nuance, who doesn't leave anything to chance. When you walk into a room and someone catches your scent during conversation, they're not just smelling cologne. They're experiencing your intentionality, your self-awareness, your refusal to coast on past achievements. Getting this right isn't about impressing anyone. It's about honoring the man you become and showing up as a complete version of yourself every single day. If this just saved you from walking around smelling like a high school locker room, hit that like button. Help another guy avoid the embarrassment. Drop a comment. Which of these 6 mistakes have you been making? Be honest. And subscribe, because next week I'm covering the grooming habits that instantly age you after 40. Stay sharp, gentlemen. You've earned it.